In the last video, we have seen the definition of respiration, sites of respiration in animals and in plants. Along with that, we have seen the human respiratory system. Now let's study with the mechanism of respiration in human. Respiration is a biochemical process involving exchange of gases between the atmosphere and lungs which result in formation of ATP molecule that is explained in definition also. Now the process of respiration in the mechanism follows the four main important steps. The first step is the breathing. Second, external respiration. Third, internal respiration. And fourth, cellular respiration. The breathing, it is the physical process by which gaseous exchange takes place between the atmosphere and lungs. This breathing involves the two steps, the first inspiration and second expiration. Both the steps carry out by thoracic cage, the ribs, sternums and intercostal muscles with diaphragm. One inspiration and one expiration, it forms a one breath. In inspiration, what happens? During this process, the atmospheric air is taken inside into the lungs. It occurs due to the pressure gradient formed between the lungs and the atmosphere. The diaphragm becomes flat and goes downward in position. The external intercostal muscles contract, so ribs and sternums moves upward and outward, which result to an increase in the thoracic volume and decrease in pressure of thoracic cavity and lungs. In expiration, the thorax contract, causing air to be exhaled. Diaphragm relax and push upward and become dome shape. The intercostal muscle relax, pulling the ribs cage inward and downward. This decrease thoracic cavity volume and reach to increase pressure in the thoracic cavity and lungs, so the air from the lungs go outside the body. This diagram shows how the inspiration and how the expiration takes place and which are the changes occur during the entry of oxygen inside the body and when the CO2 get released outside the body during the process of breathing. Second is the external respiration. In this process, an alveolus consists of a layer of simple squamous epithelium resting on a basement membrane. It is intimately associated with a dense network of capillaries. The capillary wall is made up of simple squamous epithelium also, and outside present a thin basement membrane. Both the layers have a similar structure which are thin walled. Together they make up the respiratory membrane through which the gaseous exchange occur between the alveolar air and the blood. This diagram shows the alveolar capillary network. In the same process, the diffusion of gases will take place from an area of higher partial pressure to an area of lower partial pressure until the partial pressure of two lungs reach the equilibrium. The partial pressure of CO2 of blood entering the pulmonary capillaries is 45 mmHg, while partial pressure of CO2 in alveolar air is 40 mmHg. Due to this difference, CO2 diffuses from capillaries into the alveolus. Partial pressure of oxygen of blood pulmonary capillaries is 40 mmHg, while in alveolar blood it is 104 mmHg. Due to these differences, oxygen diffuses from alveoli to capillaries. This diagram shows the oxygen diffuses in RBCs and CO2 diffuses into the alveolus. The third step is the internal respiration. The two main components of blood involved in transport of respiratory gases, that is as know the CO2 and O2. along with the RBCs and the plasma. The first, transport of oxygen. Here, the total oxygen is get transported and only 3% is get dissolved by the plasma. The remaining 97% is get bound with the hemoglobin present in RBCs. That hemoglobin is also known as a oxygen carrier protein. That hemoglobin get bind with the oxygen molecule and forms the oxyhemoglobin. The degree of saturation of hemoglobin with oxygen or the combination, it depends upon the oxygen tension, that is the partial pressure of oxygen. 100% saturation of hemoglobin and oxygen, it is a very rare. Maximally 95 to 97% at the partial pressure of oxygen in alveoli is get formed. The degree of saturation of oxyhemoglobin decreases with the drop in partial pressure of oxygen, and this begins the dissociation. At 30 mmHg of partial pressure of oxygen, only 50% saturation can be maintained. Now the carbon monoxide poisoning. Affinity of hemoglobin with CO is about 250 times more than oxygen. In presence of CO, Hb radially binds to form a stable carboxyhemoglobin, and it is get blocked, preventing the binding of oxygen with hemoglobin, where the less hemoglobin is available for O2 transport, and therefore oxygen is get less supply to the cell. Now this curve shows the oxyhemoglobin dissociation curve. The relationship between the oxyhemoglobin saturation and oxygen tension is called oxygen dissociation curve. This curve, it is a sigmoid shape. It shifts towards the right due to increase in H plus ion concentration, increase in ppCO2, rise in temperature, rise in 2,3 diphosphoglycerate, which are get formed in RBC during the glycolysis. That get shift to right means there is decrease in affinity of hemoglobin for oxygen. Bohr effect, it shows it is the shift of oxyhemoglobin dissociation curve due to partial pressure CO2 in blood. Haldane effect shows that oxyhemoglobin function as an acid, it get decreased pH of blood due to increase in number of H plus ions, and HCO3 minus ions get changed into water and carbon dioxide. Now the transport of carbon dioxide. By the plasma in solution form, the 7% transport takes place, which is in dissolved form of carbonic acid. By bicarbonate ion, the 70% transport that will be get possible. The carbonic anhydrase is found mainly in these RBCs as well as in plasma, which result in formation of carbonic acid is high in RBC than in plasma. The chloride shift or Hamburg's phenomenon, it shows the movement of carbonic acid ions outside the RBCs create imbalance of charges inside, so to maintain the ionic balance chloride ions which get diffused inside the RBCs. Now this chloride shift, it again shows that this movement, it is get at the level of the lung, reverse action takes place due to low partial pressure CO2 in alveolar air, H plus ions and bicarbonate ions under influence of carbonic anhydrase, which get form carbon dioxide and water. The next step is the cellular respiration. It is the last step. It takes place inside every cells and cytoplasms as well as in mitochondria, where the site of ATP. It involves the two processes. First is the oxidation. In this process, the breakdown of a complex organic molecule into simple inorganic compound takes place with the release of energy in the form of and the presence of the oxygen. In the phosphorylation, trapping of heat energy in the high energy bond of ATP molecules. This ATP is used to carry out all the vital processes takes place. Hence, that is known as a currency of a cell. And this equation shows the formation of ATP.